want to start this off with just giving a shout out to Mitzi Shore.
I know, right?
87 years old.
It's a sad day.
She passed me at the Comedy Store in 2006. Might have been 2005. And it's always an honor. And
she's I mean...
She was sick then.
She's on Mount Rushmore for comedy.
Well, Mitzi was the one who would find people. She'd find comics and give them advice that would change the way they did things. And she was... because she loved stand-up. Up there, the legend is that, and I think Pauly Shore even talked about this, when Pauly would be crying in the crib, she'd let him cry. She was like, just, it'll make him a better comic.
Oh, my God.
In other words, he's got to fight for my attention.
Oh, my God.
He's got to get my attention. And Pauly would tell stories about, and he did this thing on Mad TV about having she dated guys. And she had some dude that, she brought home, and there was just a giant fight at Thanksgiving. And it's one of the funniest fucking stories ever. And it was all true, but it was hilarious. It was the first time, I have to say that as a comic, I was 20. I wasn't a comic really, but I was 27. Pauly Shore did this on national TV and told a real story about his mom and her disastrous date and how they were throwing food at the guy.
Is that on? Did you find that shit maybe? Mitzi?
Might have been. He goes, I'm Pauly Shore. Loser. And he tells the story. And the first time I went, you can tell the truth and be funny.
Oh, yeah.
You can tell the truth of who you are and tell a real story and be really personal. And it's tragic. It's fucking tragic then.
Everyone can relate to it.
Now it's hilarious. And, dude, he brought the house down.
Really?
He brought the house down.
Pauly Shore is a good dude.
And his mom, his mom had a lot to do with that.
Think about Pauly growing up like that around comics.
She told Carlos Mencia to change his name from Ned Holdness to Carlos Mencia, changed his career.
You're talking about it. Literally, man, the amount of people that she's touched through comedy in the Comedy Store, and you look at the names and the environment she's created at the Comedy Store. There's no
club.
There's no one like
the Comedy Store.
No.
I mean, I've performed at every club in New York City. I've spent a lot of time in New York City. My formative years as a comic was New York City. There's no club like the Comedy Store. There's nothing. The darkness. Like how dark it was, the original room. It was almost like she created a space where if you could do comedy there, you could do comedy anywhere. And look at it now.
And what is an unknown neurological disorder for years?
She had something similar to Parkinson's. So she used to shake. So when she passed me in 2005, she was shaking. Like you could see her shaking.
Talk about that getting passed, because now, who does it now?
Now I think it's Adam and a group of people, but Mitzi was the one who had to pass you as a regular. So I would show...
Which is a big deal.
Yep. And when I got there, Joe Rogan had recommended me. I got up, I had 4 minutes.
That's all you had at the time?
And I had never performed where I couldn't see an audience. So it threw me. I was in a vacuum, and I was doing shit. And
in the OR?
Yep. And they didn't pass me. And then Ahmed said, dude, you got to perform for Mitzi. I'm going to sit with her and make her watch you. And he sat, watched me. I did well, but it was only 4 minutes, 5 minutes. That's a short time. Very hard to do, only 4 minutes.
Yeah, and that's all she would give you at the time is 4 or 5 minutes.
That's it. She could tell right away.
Yeah.
And I did this, I did my Israeli porn star. I take her to my bed. I make her very nice, And she was laughing, apparently.
Yeah.
And then I came over and said hi to her. And I squeezed her shoulder, and I was passed. She said, you're passed. And she didn't say it. Ahmed said it.
Oh, he's like, you're good.
You're good. And I went, wow.
That's cool, man.
Wow. And I said, and I thought, I fucking have been passed at a club. It's very hard to get passed at any club in LA.
Very, very tough.
I had TV credits. I'd been doing stand-up, and I still couldn't really get passed. I remember I went to the Laugh Factory, and they didn't pass me.
How long did you were you doing comedy before you did that?
10 years.
You got passed.
10 years.
10 years.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. 10 years, man. I'd already done Letterman.
But you didn't try before that, right?
I had tried before.
Oh, you tried multiple times.
Oh yeah. Didn't get passed twice, and then I got passed the third time. And it was just those names up on that wall. There are very few people that are paid regulars at the Comedy Store.
Oh, very few. Very few.
And so I was part of this really special fraternity.
Yeah,
and that's when I started performing all the time there.
Once you got passed.
Yeah. And by that time, I was a little bit different than a lot of people because I had already had my I'd already been a pretty good comic. I'd already done a lot.
You already had some credentials.
Yeah,
you were selling.
And
on
I was
the road.
good.
You were selling on the road already. It's not like you needed
almost. Yeah, I was selling, but not well. I was doing very small rooms on the road because I didn't do the road. Remember, for years, I was an actor, and I didn't do the road. Really become a road guy until 2006.
Like a traditional comic.
Yeah,
would.
never. I never went away. Never went away. So it was 2006, and then I did. I think it was. I went to Kansas City and I did stand up for the first time, and I remember I was really nervous because I had to do an hour, and I did really, really well. This woman was laughing so hard, and I went, "Oh my God, this is home.
Yep.
This is where I belong."
Yep.
And that was it. I never looked back. But again, someone like Mitzi Shore. Let me throw some names out: Robin Williams, Richard Pryor, David Letterman, Jay Leno. David Letterman used to park cars. Okay.
Yes. At the Comedy Store?
Yeah. Jay Leno, Jim Carrey, Chris Rock, Arsenio Hall, Roseanne Barr. I don't know if you've heard of those names, but those are the people who spent their formative years, a lot of their formative years. Joe Rogan, starting there when he was 27, when he was a fledgling comic. Jeff Ross. Bill Burr spent a lot of time there.